Well, if you thought my reviews of the VF-19 toys was a little bit gushy, you ain't seen nothing yet. So this is Yamato's 1/60th scale Perfect Transformation VF-17S Diamond Force Color from the show Macross 7. This craft is also known as the Nightmare. More commonly it is known as the Stealth Valkyrie. Before I get into the toy itself, though, I do want to show something that came with the toy. That is this announcement by Yamato that they are going to make a webshop exclusive 1/60th scale Perfect Transformation VF4G Lightning 3. And this was seen in a Macross Flashback 2012 and a bunch of video games along the way. It's a very highly desirable Valkyrie that has never had a proper toy ever, even though it's only really had like 5 seconds of screen time, but whatever. So they're gonna have some more details coming in February, so watch their homepage. And here's the website right there. You can see that quite clearly. So yeah, and I like the fact that this is apparently the digital mission VFX2 version from 1997, which is just the flashback version. But whatever. And oh yeah, also this is a hella pixelated piece of line on here. It's like, I know there's a better scan you guys could have gotten. Whatever. So again, webshop exclusive, but a lot of retailers are getting Yamato exclusive items. One of them actually sponsors this website. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So anyway, on to the main toy, which is amazing. So here's the gushing. And okay, so it does have, of course, the opening canopy right here. It's not the sliding joint, it's a little stiff, so you kind of have to basically pull it sort of from the front more than just kind of lift it up. And of course, inside there is a in scale Gamlen Kazaki, my Gamlen-san, and he's pretty detailed too because it's the same sculpt as the Emerald Force VF-19 because they have the same uniform just with different colors. So yeah, I'm sorry, this is kind of harsh lighting just because this thing is really, it's basically a black hole for all kinds of light, be it UV or artificial UV. So yeah, so yeah, very, very clean lines. And oh, I forgot to, these things are going to annoy you. There's little panels that kind of pop in and keep everything smooth in fighter mode. They just kind of tab in underneath here. So you just kind of flip them up. There we go. That one's in. That was a little bit testy, but whatever. You have to kind of keep everything nice and aligned. So let's kind of flip over to the bottom. And again, very nice, clean profile. It does have collapsible landing gear, just like all these toys. One cool thing is that each one of these doors is on its own sliding joint, so that as you flip it in, you actually push them down. See, there's the joint right there, and just push it down. And what that does, it makes it very smooth, very almost seamless as far as storage goes. So I'm just going to push the back gears in. Again, there's actually a sliding joint there, and it will push in just like that. And again, except for these exposed knee joints right here, but still, I think that's okay. I mean, because it just shows you that there's some nice, delicious die cast in the knee joints right there. Now, you're gonna, if you get this toy, you're gonna notice it's pretty heavy. It doesn't have a lot of external metal, but really this thing is just chock full of structural die cast metal. Gives it a very good heft, and it just looks really nice. As you can see, it's done in a matte plastic, which is very solid. Feels about the same as the plastic in the two VF-19 toys, the Fire Valkyrie, the Laser Valkyrie. And I would have, at first I thought, it's like, well, maybe they should do the gloss plastic. But then I thought, well, that would just cause dust from all over the universe to hyperspace fold in and, stick to the toy. But so for size comparison with a toy that a lot of people have out there, a lot of people have the bootleg of it. This is Josh's, I borrowed this from him, his old Bandai Deluxe VF-17S. So you can see they are kind of roughly the same size. That's because this is 1/65th, this is 1/60th. So very small difference in scale. But yeah, this feels a lot heavier. Oh, this is very solid too. So this feels like a worthy successor to this. I just want to show you a cool thing. It's like, hey, look, it's the Diamond Force, which I can't fit in shot. Just pop this up. Here we go. Look it. It's like a diamond because they're two triangles. But yeah. Anyways, so again, this is incredibly sleek, very stealthy. You did notice that the new one doesn't have the markings. Apparently, that's because the designer who made the toy didn't like the markings that are on there and decided that we all have to suffer for it and apply stickers like a bunch of cavemen. But I don't really care because I'm very, very happy with this toy. Okay, so we're going to go into Garwalk mode. And one thing you're going to notice is that a little bit of rattle. Actually, no rattle this time. Okay, but there's a surprise hidden inside. So we're going to start with these panels on the side here. I'm going to pop them up. Let's see, just a little panel that tabs in on each side. Yeah, see, there's the slot and the tab. You just kind of go in there, and there's these little sliding panels. You just get your finger in there and you pop them in, and that just kind of covers the gap left in between the knee and the shin. And what you can do is you just bring these out with both legs, and you just kind of get them out either at the knee joint or at the Garwalk joint. And here's the surprise inside. Now Yamato couldn't. I'm just going to lift up this panel. You pull it out, and you lift this panel up, and you can see inside we have the two halves of the gun pod, and also the head's looking at you right there. They couldn't quite fit this thing or get it to fold up nicely like it does in the TV show because, for one thing, not enough room inside here because a toy has to have, a big, hefty ankle joint in there that slides back and forth and other stuff. So this is a pretty good solution anyway because it gives you a place to put the gun pod in fighter mode so you don't have it just on the shelf somewhere. But yeah, I'm just going to put this tab back in, and you actually can bring this whole thing. You can see there's actually a little space here, and when you push it, align it, push it in, and there's no gap anymore. Okay, so I'm going to bring up both legs and just extend them on the nice ratcheted Garwalk joints. I'm going to bring this out all the way and this forward. Oh, and one thing you do have to do is there's actually, for fighter mode, this is actually a little offset, and you just push it back. Oh, sorry, this is the offset position. This is for the more robot-y modes. Okay, so we got the beginnings of Garwalk. We're just gonna spread the feet and pull out the ankles. There's this nice hefty die-cast joint in here. This thing is really monstrous. So you just pull them out, and then you can push them back in to get a cleaner look. One little note about handling this thing is that a lot of the pointy edges, especially like around here, and there's a couple more, are prone to getting damaged just because they're very fine points. And it's unfortunate, but just be careful when you're transforming it, trying to knock things together. Okay, we've got that half Garwalk mode, and to continue, we're going to unlock the arms. Oh, while I'm here, these slots here are going to be for the super packs, I can tell. And also there's a slot on each wing, which will probably be for the leg packs. And looks like there might be something here for attaching the packs. Well, there's this slot here, which is used for securing it in fighter mode, but this slot here I think is also for the super packs, and also be for that part there. I don't think they're going to do the hinge like in the show. They're just going to have you tab it here and then put it in here for the transformation, but that's okay with me. So what you do, there's a tab on this side and there's a bigger tab in here. So you just kind of pop this out, and you just pull this off this tab here. Do the same thing on this side, just pop it up. You can see there's the tab right there. And just bring it out. Okay, so we got the beginnings of the gear walk mode. And you're gonna pull each one of these, the shoulder blocks, pauldrons, what have you, out, and they just kind of very smoothly rotate outward. Revealing actually this part here is a painted die cast as well. And I'm going to look underneath, and you're going to see there's this huge die cast bar that the wings are on. I'm just going to stick these together just to give us some space. And you just pull this and bring the whole thing forward. And while keeping these fully extended, you just bring the arm around and bend it up. At the elbow. And to complete the VF-17's rather unique gear walk mode, you have to get your good fingernail and pull these little cannons out. Okay. So we're gonna get those out. Okay. All right, and just kind of pop it up. Very, very solid joints. And I'm just gonna make sure that this thing here, it has this nice long fold out support to keep the whole back section level in gear walk mode and stable. So yeah, this is VF-17 in gear walk mode. Looks pretty good, looks the part. Some complained that this is a little gappy back here. You can actually just retract these things and it's a little less gappy now. You're supposed to actually have them out like this for the gear walk mode, but personal preference. This does not have the weird panels that cover this area like in the show, but I never understood where those panels are supposed to go anyway. So again, I'm not really concerned because it still looks really, really cool. So this is all well and good for a gear walk mode, but is it a qualified love interest saver? Well, to do that, you can do the more standard looking gear walk mode with this, and you just put the guns away, and you just bring these up and out. You're going to bring up both arms, and I'm going to come to the bottom here. Now both these shoulders have a moving panel here on the front that you just kind of pull out. Each arm is on a die cast joint, another swivel joint, and what you can do is you can just bend it. Try to keep the lights here, it's really dark. Yeah, okay, so just kind of bend it there. Again, this toy is fresh. I just got it a couple hours ago. And I'm already playing it with it like crazy. Okay, so we got that. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna push the elbow inward, which will pop off this panel a little bit. Now there's some part swapping, yeah, just because they didn't have any place to put these, but minor thing, it just means you can see the hands if it's in fighter mode, or fighter or gear walk mode. So yeah, just kind of push this thing in, make the panel fall out. And to get the hands out, what you really need to do is just kind of grab the index finger and just yank it, and it'll come out pretty easily. It's got the full swiveling wrist and a hinge here as well, and the opening and closing fingers. Very nice. Pull that out, and there we go. Now, I had thought that these hands were actually the same as the VF-22/YF-19 or YF-21 toys. They are not. They are actually a new hand sculpt for this toy, and they look pretty appropriate. Nice and a nice wide back of the hand. They do have the tab in the palm, so they can help grip the gun pod. And a little finishing touch to this mode is to cover these cavities in the back here. You can just pop these up, and they will hinge down over the gap, and there you go. It looks a lot like the show. Now this is a weird feature. It does actually have little boosters in the back, but the way it works is you just kind of reach in there and you kind of get your finger in there. And they're going to be open most of the time because to get them back, there's this tiny little bit of plastic you can just kind of push in with something. You can get your finger in there a little bit and push it back up to make this little door just kind of fill that cavity there. But yeah, a lot of little details here to make this thing really just feel like it's more than perfect. So you want to give it a gun pod. Just take the two halves. Actually, first it's easier if you just do this and pull this thing out, because you need very good fingernails to do all this, and just kind of push this whole thing together. And like in the show, it does have the foregrip. And what you can do also is that you can pop off the magazine like Gamlin would do in the show, and it does not have the beam adapter. Unfortunately, maybe they'll come in a later one. But yeah, it does have some nice Gatling gun style detail, so that's pretty cool. Just gonna stick this back on there. Okay, so you just grab one of the arms and try to put the gun in the palm while you're on camera. There it goes. It went right in there. Yep, and there it goes. Here we go. Hey, Garrock mode with a gun. This is how it looked in the game Macross VFX 2 and some other games, I think. Mostly because they didn't want to code another primary weapon for Garrock mode, because, you know, we're getting paid to do that on that game. That's for sure. Oh, and it kind of got loose there. That's okay. You can kind of get the trigger finger in this slot and keeps it in there a lot tighter. So yeah, the VF-17 Garrock mode looks legit. Looks very good. I'm just going to bring this up, and we're going to go into the main event, which is always Batteroid mode. So I'm going to retract these like I showed you before. Bring the wings out of the way. And I'm just going to undo this thing on the bottom here. I'm going to pull it out, and this whole thing will just come loose. Fold this thing away, and you can bring this whole panel down like that. And it's going to rest at a slight angle away from the back. So it's going to be right there. Okay, so the next step is where you tend to see a lot of scraping of parts against each other. And I'm just going to take the gun out of his hand for now. So what you want to do is you are going to want to start by pulling up on the chest plate. And this thing actually does, again, it's on a sliding joint. That's going to rise up and out. There it goes. There it goes. It's going to come up like that. And you're going to bring it up all the way, and you can pull out the little canopy cover in the front here and pop the cockpit area up. And also you can bring up the nose cone, and I think this thing does actually, I thought it clicked into place. It did the first time I tried doing this video. Okay, so here's the deal. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring the whole leg away like this. And these are both going to extend outward like this. It's kind of weird. It's like they're connected, but they do swing freely. Both swing freely. Now you're going to rotate this, or I guess this way, it's clockwise if you're looking at it this way. Always do this, otherwise you will make divots in the plastic below. Like I did. Okay, so you want to get this out of the way. And then, yeah, I was pretty sure this thing clicked into place, but I do like it has some crotch thrust there built in the design. So the only thing with this is that you have to bring these both forward, kind of while rotating the leg around as well, because this whole thing is going to do a full 180, and yeah. That's where some of the rubbing comes with this little part right there. Is right in that place. But just be careful, because you can get these things to come down. See, they're swinging pretty freely right now. And they're just waiting for you to retract them. Just gonna push them both in again. And here we go. And this is all in the right position. This is gonna come down a little bit so that it's angled downward. Just pop the canopy cover back. Oh, this is supposed to be flipped like that, but I'll leave it like that. I think it's a little less, you know, egregious like that. Although it is kind of like a cowboy hip thingy there, isn't it? Little thingy on the hips. But that's kind of cool that they inadvertently homage the designer. So we're gonna just retract the knees, and we are gonna continue with this. You just kind of feed this back plate through. Bring this whole thing down, and one last thing. You're gonna flip up this. This is a pair of locking tabs on a thing that is very difficult to get out, and the thing is stabbing me right now. It's like, why do you hurt me, Goblin? I love you so much. Okay, I'm gonna bring that out. And these two tabs here, let's see if we can get that to get the autofocus, because it's stealthy. Tabs right here, go into the slots right there. Line the whole thing up, bring it through, and just kind of bring it together. Okay, and this is just about the final position for everything. Okay. Just kind of get the arms in a nice position. And just like in the, actually there is one little thing here. There's actually a little sliding thing. Let's see if I can show you it. Yeah. It comes in and out, so cover for the neck joint. And you bring the head around, and here we go. We've got the VF-17S in Bataroid mode. So yeah, this thing is oh, actually you do also you bring this thing back. It's on a little extra joint that it can move normally. You can also like swing to the side a little bit. Let's see, kind of like that. See, it's like a double swivel. Okay. The only thing that makes it a little harder to pose the head if you're just kind of grabbing it normally. Okay, so let's bring the cheapy Dynex tripod up so we can hopefully finish this video before the battery runs out. So this is the VF-17S in Bataroid mode. It is great. It looks great. It feels great. It is poseable. I mean, you saw the joints in the arms. You know, it's got extra joint in here. It's got the full double jointed elbow. It's got let's see, what else can we do with this thing? I mean, obviously there was that double joint underneath that I just kind of used right there to bring the arm, the bicep closer to the shoulders. It has these hinges like right here just for doing this. That's cool. Nothing else other than doing this. It's like flexing. It's like, yeah, right there. You know, cool thing here is actually the swivel is not like down here in the knee. It's like up here in the thigh, right in the Garwalk joint, which is cool. Ball jointed. It's got the ball jointed hips, the ball jointed ankles. You know, looks pretty cool. I'm going to do better poses on the text review that goes with this. Because right now it's just kind of like, it's hard to handle this guy because he's so tight right now. He's just like perfect. It's like this is what you want him to be like right out of the box. And I'll just kind of give him fists for now. Because Valkyries look cool even when they don't have their guns with them. So yeah, this is really, I mean, we've been talking about how Yamato's been hitting it out of the park lately. And yeah, this is just another example of how they're just really have made it as a company that makes Macross toys. I mean, they've done so many, it's kind of crazy at this point. And speaking of so many, I'm going to end this review with a little bit of a scale party, because I'm always doing a scale party. Today, and tomorrow, and forever, obey, obey. So we're going to bring in the good old cannon fodder Valkyrie from Macross 7. We're going to bring in the Blazer Valkyrie as well. Try to fit these guys all in the shot here. We're going to fit in the badass Commander in the back. Let's just kind of put him right there. There it goes. And why not? Let's throw in the Karaoke Ninja. So yeah, this is pretty good. Pretty big spread of Macross 7 toys. It's certainly more than Bandai ever made back in the day, but I can't fault them for that. It's not Gundam. They don't care if it's not Gundam. So yeah. Again, this is great. This is a great toy. It's hefty. It has a lot of die-cast where it needs it. Feels good. Poses well. It'll look better in the videos, or in the text review. But yeah, it's just amazing. And just for a little fun, we're gonna put in the tiny, you can't see him, happy little diving beetle, because he's in scale with all these guys, and he's expressing my joy right now. It's like, yay! So yeah, this has been Andrew for CollectionDX reviewing yet another Macross Valkyrie toy, but I don't care, because this one is for Gamlin. Or Captain Kenryu if you want. He was cool too.